Hello everybody and welcome to this week's edition of Parashat Pointers for Parashat Chayei. This week's message is dedicated in honor of Elisheva bat Moshe Ashear Hakohen, Elizabeth Rubinstein, by her loving husband. It's also for the refuah shlema of all the holim in Klal Yisrael. Everybody should have a refuah shlema. Everybody should be doing well, Be'ezat Hashem. So this week's parasha, we are brought into the scene, the amazing scene of when Rivka meets Yitzchak Avinu. It's unbelievable. This is when they're coming together for the first time. The great patriarch Yitzchak Avinu and the matriarch Rivka Imenu. The pasuk says, "Vayivyeha Yitzchak ahohela Sarah into the tent of Sarah. Vayikach et Rivka v'tihilo leisha vayeheveha vayinahem Yitzchak ahare imo." He brought her in. He loved her, and he was comforted after the passing of his mom, Sarai Imenu. So the Torah talks about this, and it talks about this comfort. What is the comfort? Rashi brings down very famously that there were three things that happened in the home of Sarai Imenu. Number one, when she lit the candles on Shabbat, it lasted to the next Shabbat. Number two, that there were these clouds that were always around her house. And number three, quite amazingly, the bread that she baked stayed fresh the entire week. Unbelievable. And now those things went away when Sarai Imenu died. And when Rivka now came back into the tent, they all came back. And therefore Yitzchak Avinu was comforted. There's the Kedusha is back. These miracles are back. It's pretty amazing when you analyze these things, but we need to understand a little bit more deeply what's going on. I'd like to talk about the bread, the freshness of the bread. What does that mean? The bread stayed fresh. So there's one beautiful Dvar Torah that I've said in the past, that there was a freshness and a vigor to the way she did everything. It wasn't just about the bread. Sarai Imenu had an excitement, had a passion for everything she did, and that is what was in her home. It wasn't just about the bread, it was every mitzvah. And Rivka had that same passion, that same excitement. And we spoke about the fact that when you want to have children that are excited about Torah, you have to have that vigor and excitement and freshness yourself, and it will have a beautiful effect on your children. And that's very important. It's contagious. That's what makes an amazing home. However, I want to focus a little bit on a different aspect of what it means that there was fresh bread. And we talk about parenting all the time and techniques and different things and professional ideas. But there's a certain foundational point that I want to talk about that a mother has to have, and a father as well, but really a mother. And that means that the bread was always fresh has to do with the way there's a warmth to a mother, a kindness. You know, that cozy feeling when you see your mom. Rabbi Solomon, the great mashgiach, you should be well, says that parents, especially mothers, sometimes make a very big mistake. Their kid gets home, they had about 8 hours of being told what to do, and the first thing they do is, what's for homework? What do we have to get done? Let's go, let's get it done. That's not the role of a mother. The role of a mother is to tell her child, I love you. Welcome home. Give him a nice something warm. Give him something nice to eat. Give him a hug. That's the main role of a mother. We can't forget that. Everything else is important. But that warmth is such a vital piece of what a mother needs to do. Actually, just yesterday, I'm in the school, and about 9 o'clock, a mother shows up. She has 3 beautiful boys in our yeshiva, and I see that she has these bags of burekas, and there's like the steaming hot burekas. If you look in each one of the little plastic bags, there's like all that heat coming out of it. I said, wow, unbelievable. What is that? She goes, no, my boys, I want them to know that mommy loves them and mommy's proud of them and I support them. The hot, warm burekas. I'm like, where'd you get them from? Make them, bought them. She was insulted. I made them myself. I took the dough and everything, the fila. So it was a little hard not to intercept the burekas and eat them myself. But, Baruch Hashem, that's the warmth that we're talking about. That's the warm bread that we're talking about. How do you think those boys felt when all of a sudden I come to them, I say, look what mom brought you. Oh, did they feel good? Did they feel loved? And that's a foundation, that's the bedrock for whatever they're going to accomplish in school. Rav Moshe Feinstein, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, the Gadol Hador, relates how he had a very busy life. He was answering she'elot, he was the halachic posek, and his children relate how they felt such warmth from their father, even though he was very busy. He would make sure in the cold winter mornings to go and to put their pants on the heater, so when they wake up in the morning, their pants would be hot and warm. That's the warm feeling they got from their dad, from their father. There's another story of a Gadol who says the reason why he became so great in Torah is because every morning when he woke up, he saw his mother busy preparing warm cookies that he could take to yeshiva. Now, she didn't have to prepare those warm cookies. What was the point? The point is telling that kid, you're important to me, I love you, what you're doing is important to me, I support what you're doing, I'm happy what you're doing, I love you, I care for you, you're on my mind. The sensitivity and support that we give our children and the love and warmth is not a contradiction to strict rules, having very, very clear guidelines of what we want, being firm if we have to punish. And in fact, this is the most important point we're going to hear today. When you give that warmth and you deposit that warmth and love, now when you go and tell them something that they have to hear that they don't want to hear, they will accept it because they know where it's coming from. It's coming from that love. It's the deposit and withdrawal. You got to put the deposits of love so you can withdraw it when you have to and tell them something they don't want to really hear. We have to ask ourselves the following question. Is our home a place that our kids feel comfortable, that our kids feel love, that our kids feel accepted, that they feel that they're on our minds, that they're our priority? If we can answer yes, then you could be sure, Be'ezat Hashem, that you'll get nahat from your kids. You'll have kids that are confident, kids that have self-esteem, kids that feel that they're worthwhile because we made them feel that way. Shabbat Shalom.